Ladies with gentle hands, welcome, welcome. This is just going to be kind of a yappy commentary type of video, swagger now included. So today I kind of wanted to talk about a topic that I think could help somebody. And that is when life feels kind of empty or just kind of boring and monotonous. And I kind of wanted to share with you guys maybe my kind of tips on how I deal with those feelings. And I want to start off by saying that feeling that way is pretty normal. I think as we get older, life can feel kind of pointless or feel kind of empty, right? Because we spend so much time at work or at school. And it really does seem pointless and it really does seem empty, especially if what you're doing right now currently isn't what you want to be doing, right? A lot of people work jobs because we have to, not because we want to. So it can feel very, very daunting and very empty a lot of times. So I really just wanted to share with you guys my personal kind of approach to combat that kind of feel, right? And texture pack's kind of glitched, but I really wanted to share with you guys kind of my approach to things, how I kind of make myself feel better, right? So I think it's important to know that in the moment it feels like we'll feel that way forever, right? And it's kind of discouraging. I know when I'm going through like kind of a low point, I feel like it'll last forever, and I'm just like, oh great, this is it. This is all I'm gonna feel forever. But just know that it ain't gonna last forever. And I know that can be kind of hard to hear in the moment, but you gotta trust me. Trust me for just a tiny little bit. It's not gonna last forever. Eventually you're gonna feel better. So give it time, be patient with yourself. What's the rush? What's the rush? So my tips for dealing with the emptiness, dealing with the pointlessness of it all. Step one. I think for me, I'm a very creative and kind of ambitious person. And when I was growing up, I didn't really realize it at the time. So maybe you're just like me. Maybe you're also very ambitious, and maybe you're very creative, and you don't realize it yet, or you don't know it yet. I feel like everybody's creative. I feel like everybody has like something special about them. My brothers, some of them are good at surfing, some of them are good musicians. Me, I'm just good at talking. So everybody has their thing, whether it's art, whether it's sports. I think the key to get that feeling back, you know what I'm talking about? That feeling that everyone looks for, that everyone wants more than anything, that feeling. If you want that feeling back, you gotta find what you love. And for me, I was very lucky, very, very lucky to find what I love so early in life. The early age of 26. I'm 26 now. And I finally found what I love. And for me, what I love is making these videos. I love to do this more than anything in the world. I've blown off so many people. So many people ask me, Nikki, come on, babe. Come hang out with us for a little bit. Blow them off because I just want to make videos. But you gotta find that thing that you love. More than anything, you gotta find that thing that you love. And I don't know what that may be for you, but only you truly know what you love to do. And it can be hard. It can be hard in the beginning because maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you've never drawn before. Maybe you've never played an instrument before. But I feel like deep down, everybody kind of has this thing that they know they've always wanted to do. And I think the key to having a life that feels fulfilling is you have to just be very, very unapologetic. about it. You know, have that thing that you love to do, and don't apologize for it, and don't take any grief for it. You know, I think I'm definitely kind of a dreamy type of person. I spend a lot of time in my daydreams. It's the only way I can get through life, honestly. I gotta be daydreaming the whole time. So if you're that dreamer type person, keep dreaming, keep daydreaming, man. Give your give that thing you love your energy and your attention and your focus, and nurture it. Give it time. Take time out of your day to create and spend time with that thing that you love. I think for me, like, um, I spent a lot of my life very unhappy. Oh, Nikki, how could you be unhappy? You're so sexy. But as I've gotten older and I finally found that thing that I loved, I was so scared to start making these videos. I really was. I was like, oh no, what if people judge me? What if people don't like them? And I just kind of got over it and just I loved what I did so much that I just kept making videos regardless of what people kind of thought about them. And I want nothing more for you than for you to find that, like, that courage to do the thing that you love, and do it like fully and really commit to it. And because you never know what it could turn into. You never know. I know so many people who do art because they love it and now it's their career. I know so many people who make videos because they love it and now it's their job, you know. And that's the I think that's the key thing. You got to find what you love, and you got to take time with it. You got to spend time with it, and nurture it, and be patient with yourself. And I think that's, for me, that was the thing that really made me get that feeling again of enjoying life. And I'm not here to say that I enjoy life every day, but it helps. It helps to have that thing that you love to do because it's consistent. It's consistent, and I'm not here to say that, like, you're gonna love what you do every single day, but I am saying that you'll at least feel a little bit better. You'll at least feel a little bit better. You'll at least have something that you can kind of look forward to, right? I think as we get older, unfortunately, society tends to reward people that are very analytical and very, like, I don't think society necessarily rewards dreamers. I think because your dreams are your own, right? No one else can see them but you. So those things that you dream about and that are important to you, like, not everyone's gonna get it. Not everyone's gonna understand, like, what you're trying to do with what you're creating, and that's fine. They're not supposed to. It's not for them. It's for you, right? So even if people don't understand what you're trying to do, they don't see, like, oh, why do you spend so much time practicing guitar? Why do you spend so much time on your art? It doesn't matter. Their opinion does not matter, you know. You can't let the world try to, like, form you and shape you into what they want, right? So it's important to, like, build that confidence in yourself to stand in what you love and what you think is important, and hold on to that, like, that dream and that feeling, because that's probably, like, the most important thing. Like, literally, I think something that really stuck to me, and I was kind of watching it recently, was Steve Jobs did a speech at, I think it was Stanford, and one of the key points, it's such a beautiful speech, and maybe the first time you hear it, it might not seem like it's that deep or that meaningful, but I really want you guys to, like, pursue that thing that you love and pursue that dream that you have, even if it's so far-fetched, because and then come back and, like, listen to that, like, speech that he did, because it'll, like, for me, the more I listened to it and, like, the more I did in life and came back and listened to it, it made so much more sense. But in that speech, he's talking about finding what you love, and it's kind of interesting if you think about Steve Jobs as a person, right? A lot of people, maybe you're watching this video on a phone, right? You're watching this on your iPhone or your iPod or on a computer or on a Mac, right? And it's kind of interesting Like we see people like Steve Jobs or people that are like really innovative, and maybe sometimes you feel like those people are like, you're not the same. Maybe we're different, right? Sometimes people can feel like they're not capable of achieving that same level of impact, right? But the truth is, um, everybody's capable of everybody is capable of creating something that's impactful and is meaningful. But that's kind of a tangent. I guess what I was trying to say is that um, in that speech he says it's so important to find what you love, because I mean the reality is you have to work to make a living, right? So it's important to find that thing that you love, because and make that your work, make that your job, make that your focus, make that your mission. It's so important that you love what you do. And one of the key things he says is that you like cannot settle on that. I think the reason I was so unhappy in life was because I would try to like, I wanted to do this thing, right? This thing over here on the side. But I felt so scared, so I would try to do normal things, like get a normal job and, you know, what people would consider like a safe kind of path in life. And I felt so unhappy because I was trying to fit myself into this mold, into this like this thing, and very unhappy, very dark time in my life. Um and I think like finding that thing that you love and making it your work, that's the key. That's the key to making things feel full and feel like joyful again, right? I think this is kind of a tangent, but I think the reason so many people love playing these old versions of Minecrafts is because maybe it reminds them of how they felt as a kid, right? Very like full of life, full of adventure. And as we get older, that gets kind of like zapped out of us, right? Society wants us to be just like wants us to kind of fit their molds, right? So a lot of people to catch like a glimpse, to catch like a glimmer of how they felt as a kid, to get that feeling again, they like to come back and play the older versions of Minecraft. Um, it's kind of weird playing this version of the game with this texture pack, even though it's kind of buggy. This really does remind me of when I was a kid. Kind of looking at this house here and how I kind of made it. Definitely gives me that vibe, but yeah, your work's gonna fill a large part of your life, and I'm not out here to say that like you're gonna love what you do every day and it's gonna be easy, but no matter what you do in life, there's gonna be resistance, there's gonna be challenges. That's just kind of normal. That's completely normal. Everybody has highs and lows. Everybody. The people you look up to, the people that seem like they have it all figured out. Everybody has highs and lows. Everybody's a person. Um, so maybe what you're feeling, they've more than likely felt. The people that you look up to that you think are so out of reach, they felt the same exact way as you have. And it's normal. It's human, right? So yeah, find that thing that you love and create something. That's a good piece of advice right there. I think another thing too is really, like I was saying, daydreaming a lot. I love to daydream. I don't know why as we've gotten older, people forget that they can daydream, I feel like. Kind of a weird thing to say, but really, like when's the last time you've actually spent time like daydreaming about something that you love? My like thought process sometimes is that like whatever we kind of like focus our energy into, like I think literally becomes our life, right? And I know that sounds very cheesy and whimsical, but like actually, if you really, if you look in life and you focus on the bad, you're gonna only get bad, right? Because our life isn't necessarily life. It is our perspective of life, and it's our like what we focus on is our life. So maybe you feel like where you're starting off, you don't necessarily have maybe a plan, right? Like I was saying, I'm a very ambitious person, and like for the longest time, it would make me kind of upset because um, it seemed like people were so just happy and like satisfied with where they were in life, but I never felt that way. I think the reason so many people do feel that life is kind of empty is because you might be like me. You might be ambitious and you just don't know it. You might have that thing that you love and maybe something was holding you back from pursuing it. And I think finding what you love to do as early as possible is very advisable. But the main thing is not settling. Like whatever you do, don't settle. It's kind of like relationships. You don't want to settle in relationships, just like you don't want to settle on your dreams, because the truth of it is, as we look in the sunset, is that life is so short. Life is incredibly short. And I think it's a real tragedy to live somebody else's life, right? I think I feel like everybody's born with a very specific purpose in their life. And that purpose is up to you. It's not like a predestined thing. It's what you feel in your heart is your purpose, what you want to do. Whether it's be a doctor, whether it's be an artist, a YouTuber, whatever it is. And I think like to get rid of that empty feeling, you really have to find that purpose within yourself and go after it. Another thing too is kind of realizing that like when you are on the path, maybe you are somebody who has found that thing that you love, right? Maybe you're on that kind of step. Kind of, you have to realize that even when you find what you love, it's still not going to be a cakewalk. There's still going to be challenges, and there's going to feel like times when you're not making any progress, and it's going to seem really, really empty because you're on this path. You want to create something. You want to live your dream. And it can feel very empty and lonely because it's like, oh my gosh, what did I just get myself into? Because you're on this like path that no one's ever been on, right? But just keep going. If you don't know where to go, just keep going. Everybody kind of knows like what's the next step you can take that will bring you closer to your goal, right? That goal that you want to hit. You don't have to have a perfect plan. I think that's something that holds a lot of people back from really trying things, is they feel like they need to have the perfect plan, but you really don't. You really don't. All you need is a destination that you're heading towards, and just take it one step at a time, one little thing at a time, and the path will slowly kind of reveal itself to you. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That sounds very out there, but it's the truth. Like, the more time you spend like pursuing your goal and going after it, and it's gonna feel really good because you're on the right path, but there is that level of uncertainty. And if you can endure that uncertainty and endure the failures, right, that you're gonna encounter along the way, you'll be really happy with yourself that you took that challenge and you went after it. So many people get kind of intimidated by the journey because they feel like they need to know everything, and they kind of overthink. That's something that held me back for a long time, was I felt like I had to know everything before I started. But the truth is, you don't have to know anything, because like everything you need to know, you'll find out along the way. And another thing Steve Jobs says in his speech is that you cannot connect the dots looking forward, meaning like the story's not going to make sense if you try to figure it out from the beginning. Like, it's only going to make sense when you look back, and you'll kind of figure out like, oh, that's why certain things happened. That's why maybe certain relationships didn't work out, or what have you. And You know, there's so many things that we can get disappointed on, right? Like relationships or whatever, or maybe an opportunity didn't go the way you wanted it to. And that's fine, you know? It's okay to feel lost in those moments, but just know that somehow, some way, it was meant to happen that way. And that something better more than likely is gonna happen for you. And you'll only be able to find out you'll only be able to find that like happy like conclusion if you keep going. Where a lot of people mess up is they encounter like loss, right? And they feel like that's the end of it, but it's not. You have to feel those losses and like feel those losses and just keep going forward even if you don't know where you're going. Just keep moving. And then eventually something's going to happen. You'll meet the right person, or a better opportunity will show itself and you'll be like, "Wow. Thank God I didn't end up with that person," or "Thank God I didn't go with that." Or like, you know, "I'm glad that opportunity didn't happen because something totally different would have happened," right? So that's kind of what Steve Jobs means in his speech, where he's talking about like connecting the dots, looking backwards rather than forwards. So I highly recommend that if you guys want to hear somebody who's like actually extremely successful talk about like stuff like that, I would recommend watching his speech. I watched it the other day and it really made me tear up, just because I felt like where I was in this on my journey, like I really felt like that's what I felt at the time, and I could really relate to it. And I remember watching that speech so many times, like before I started this YouTube channel, and it just didn't make any sense, but for some reason I knew what he was saying was true. And who knows, maybe you're watching this video and like nothing I'm saying makes any sense, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But maybe you're on the journey and something I said might help you in some way, or maybe you'll watch this video back in a couple months time, couple weeks time, after you started on your way, started doing what you love, pursuing that dream of yours, and then it'll make sense maybe, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know why I made this video, to be completely honest with you guys. I think I just wanted to make something, and I figure if I'm gonna make something, it needs to be something that's kind of important. And I think I'm at the point in the journey where I don't have everything figured out, right? So I'm kind of like, I'm really just speaking from perspective. I don't have everything figured out, but I can look back on the short time that I've been pursuing this dream of mine, and I can say with 100% certainty that I slowly started figuring things out, right? When I started posting these videos, I had no plan for them, nothing. Like I had no idea how to do anything, and I just kept with it, and like over time I sort of learned, like I've learned things, right? It doesn't make sense obviously when you're just starting off, like, okay, how are you going to figure stuff out? But like you just kind of do. You just kind of do. But yeah, for some reason I really felt like this video was the thing I should make. More than anything else. I knew I wanted to make a video that was very yappy, and I just kind of wanted to make my favorite types of videos to make are these types of videos where we could just kind of hang out and chill out, right? The world is so noisy and there's so much distraction. It's kind of nice just to relax and share our thoughts, right? Share your thoughts and you know, I think life is so beautiful in so many ways. And there's nothing I love doing more than sharing the memories with you guys, whatever you're going through, whether it's good or bad. I'm hoping like it's good, but I understand sometimes it can be kind of bad. Like the last couple of weeks, I was having kind of a hard time. I was very moody, but I think even though I wasn't feeling the best, just having this thing that I love to do and being able to have something that's consistent, I think really it helped me, right? Because even though I wasn't feeling that great, being able to make these videos, it made me feel better because I knew I was at least making videos for people that they liked it, right? So that's my little Dear Diary moment. And that's why I feel like it's so important to have that thing that you love, because you'll always have that thing that you can go back to. And I think the beauty thing, like if you are an artist or maybe a musician, is like taking those feelings that you're feeling, whether it's emptiness or like just very dark, whatever energy, and like maybe writing a song about it. I think that's like some of the best music, some of the best artwork out there is from people who've taken their feelings and really like painted them or expressed it in words, right? I think that's so beautiful. So, even if you're going through a hard time and things feel kind of empty, you can turn that into something. You can turn it into something beautiful, right? Turn it into art. Be an artist. I always make the joke that like I made this joke with a friend the other day when we were hanging out. I was like, I'm so moody all the time. I just pretend I'm artsy about it, right? Like I'm dark and mysterious. I don't know. You gotta just joke around and have fun with it, right? So if you are a moody type person like I am, just pretend to be artsy. People will love it. They'll be like, oh my gosh, he's so artsy. I don't know. But I've been having so much fun. So much fun with this channel. And I think, oh gosh, if you're still watching this, I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me. And thank you for, if you subscribed, if you've unsubscribed, if you liked the video, unliked the video, commented, whatever. I just thank you for hanging out with me. And yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. Very happy. And hopefully, if nothing else, this video was kind of relaxing for you to hang out to. And hopefully it was helpful. So I'll see you next time.